Inflation is at 40-year highs, and it has a massive impact on everyone, especially retired Americans. I'm James Derrick, and today my guest is Sharla Jessop. She's going to teach us about the impact of inflation on Social Security benefits and retirees.
Welcome to the SFS Power Up Wealth podcast, where we provide impactful insight and expert opinions on timeless financial principles and timely investment topics, preparing you to make smarter decisions with your money.
Sharla, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to be the host of the podcast that you usually host. Sharla is the president of Smedley Financial. She holds a CFP designation. Sharla, I've heard it explained with inflation that by Alan Greenspan originally, I believe, that the idea was that inflation should be low enough that it's not a major concern for everyone. But that is not the case right now. At 40-year highs, inflation has been out of control. Would you explain to everyone why inflation is uniquely a concern for retirees?
Retirees are in a situation different from those of us who are still working, where our income keeps up and keeps pace with inflation. We get raises, bonuses, things like that throughout the year in most careers. But a retiree, they're locked in. Their incomes become fixed, and oftentimes they don't even keep up with inflation. Some things have a cost of living component and some things do not.
With Social Security specifically, there's something called a COLA. Explain what a COLA is and where does the number come from?
The COLA, which is a cost of living adjustment, is something that Social Security has every year. And it's based on CPIW, which is a little bit different than the CPI, Consumer Price Index, that we're generally familiar with. And it's based on a 3-month period of time. So it's based on the numbers for July, August, and September, which September is reported in October. That's why in October we find out what that number is. And retirees live on very fixed incomes that don't really fluctuate. And sometimes Social Security might be the only little uptick they get in their income year over year.
So 8.7%, that sounds amazing. But as you said, the inflation's already happened. So they're really just catching up to what happened this year already. And it doesn't matter what inflation does then in November, December, that 8.7 is locked in.
Right. And it starts in January the following year and it's locked in. But it benefits them because they are already on a fixed income. So where we are battling inflation right now, their inflation numbers are really more significant than ours. Let's look at the basic expenses in inflation. Food, eating at home, is up 13%. Energy, household energy costs are up 21%. That's something that all of us are dealing with, but imagine it impacting a fixed income. Then retirees also have additional expenses and inflation that most of us in younger generations don't have. And that is the cost of aging, which is health care, the cost of prescription drugs, additional needed medical assistance. All of those things are also increasing at a great rate. Those impact a fixed income severely.
Well, it's fascinating because I remember 10, 15 years ago, every year we were seeing the major impact of medical expenses and healthcare costs increasing at such an unbelievable rate. And it has a huge impact on retirees. And now we're seeing something that we really have not seen for a long, long time, which is everything is up. And so it's going to feel really, really tight, especially October, November, December of this year until that COLA kicks in. And then at that point, everybody automatically gets a raise. They're going to be a lot better off in January than they were in December, though. But it still might not be as amazing as it sounds.
Right. Because when we say 8.7% cost of living increase, it sounds big and great, and it is. But we're also combating 21% energy increase costs and 13% increase in food. So they're still going to be at a deficit. It's still going to be tight for retirees.
Let's go back. You mentioned that the COLA comes in Social Security automatically. Is there any other place that retirees receive COLAs?
That's a good question. Pensions, which not a lot of people have anymore, but current retirees do have pensions, majority of them. Some have a cost of living increase, but the majority do not increase with inflation. They're a flat amount set. So for them, the only way that they would have to offset that or outpace inflation would be through some type of an investment account that has the potential to grow at a greater rate than what inflation is over time.
Unfortunately, inflation is usually not good for investments either. And so it's just a difficult time. I guess that makes the COLA and Social Security unique and a great benefit.
It is.
Sharla, do you have any other strategies that you would recommend to retirees to offset the impact of inflation, either this year or next year if it continues?
That's a great question as well, because you can do planning that can help you prepare and offset that. We do income distribution planning. We call it Income for Life. And part of that program is planning for inflation and the impact of inflation and determining how we will offset it in advance. Because inflation isn't something you can avoid. It's not something that's going to hit some people and not others. It hits everybody equally. And the only way to outpace it if you don't have a cost of living adjustment in a fixed income you're receiving, like pension or Social Security, is through other avenues, through your investments, through other retirement plans or something you've put together. So we incorporate that into our income distribution planning. And I would say that that is probably one of the biggest things that someone who is nearing retirement or in retirement should consider is going through our lifetime of income plan so that they know that they are prepared and they don't fear that they're going to run out of money, but are still able to enjoy life today. Nobody wants to have their income and their lifestyle cut back just to maintain life.
Oh, absolutely. I would say that keeping up with inflation would be goal number one, for sure. Sharla, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, James.
Thank you for joining the SFS Power Up Wealth Podcast. Smedley Financial is located at 102 South, 200 East, Suite 100 in Salt Lake City, Utah, 84010. Call us today at 800-748-4788. You can also find us on the web at smedleyfinancial.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. The views expressed are Smedley Financial's and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities or services mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should only be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Securities offered through Securities America Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, Roger M. Smedley, Sharla J. Jessop, James R. Derrick, Shane P. Thomas, Michael B. Ani, Jordan R. Hatfield, Lorraine B. Taylor, registered representative. Investment advisor representatives of Smedley Financial Inc. Advisory services offered through Smedley Financial Services Inc., Smedley Financial Services Inc., and Securities America are separate entities.